In terms of growth, we are seeing significant growth on this area. You will note there is Pramuk, there is Yogi, there is Modern Tiles, among others. The advantage you have seen on Kayunga Road is there is land availability, it's near the generation plants, and we are seeing most investors are preferring to set up their factories here, given that Kampala is already congested. Also, the road network here, both for export and in-country distribution, gives them an advantage. So this substation we are putting up here will provide up to 60 megawatts capacity for existing and new industries we project that will set up in this area. Otherwise, we had maxed out on the 2 lines that are feeding this area, and the substation will be commissioned by the end of this month.
Here we are at the switching station where the power from Owen Falls Dam is going to be evacuated and delivered to. And from this switching station is where we are going to have 4 outgoing lines which are going to serve our customers that who are along Kayunga Road, where we have Yogi, who is going to have a dedicated line. We have Pramuk, who is also going to have a dedicated line. Then the third line is Upper Industrial, 33 kV, which is going to serve the existing customers along the way. And then also Nyanza, also going to serve the customers along. This project you see here is a $4.4 million project, the capex from the capex program of Umeme, and it's meant to relieve the stress that has been on the Kayunga Road, whereby the existing lines that were built a long time ago could not handle the capacity that has come up at this time. Capacity which we are bringing to the switching station is 60 megawatts, which we are going to evacuate from Owen Falls to this place. And currently, when you look at the demand on the Kayunga Road alone, is coming to 44 megawatts. So meaning that we are really working towards satisfying that capacity, and we shall have some headroom which will be available for future growth. This project is going to target both because they are along the way. You'll find even the surrounding area, they are both domestic and industrials. But when you look at the demand, the biggest percentage is coming from the industrialist and the smallest percentage is coming from the domestic. The power from Owen Falls Dam is first going to be brought and it arrives here. So from here is where we are going to have a distribution network that's going to move either side. But given the fact that the biggest load is along Kayunga Road, that's where our concentration is going to be, whereby we have Owen Falls Dam backwards, and that will serve around that area. But our area of concentration is going to be towards the factories which are along Kayunga Road and the domestics who are along that way.
Where are they drawing power from at the moment?
They are drawing it from Owen Falls Dam, whereby all the lines which are going that side are all coming from Owen Falls Dam. And but because the network that is there was built a long time ago, so it has been overtaken in terms of capacity. That's why we need to upgrade and inject in more network to support, which is proportionate to the existing demand that's currently there.
No, it's not about exit. Umeme is a 20-year concession. It's a 20-year concession. We have obligations to deliver our distribution in this country until March 2025. So our investment, our ability to serve, driving efficiencies, those will have to continue to the last day of our concession. This year we are putting in 130 billion shillings of investments in the country. And this substation here, which you are seeing, which is West Bank, including integrating with Owen Falls, is going to cost us $4.4 million, which is 16.5 billion shillings. As indicated, we are seeing lots of growth on this Kayunga Road. We need to serve all these industries. We need to reduce technical losses. But also more importantly, we have to ready the distribution system to take on more power that is going to come from Karuma, among other generation plants. We're glad to note that this was recognized much earlier, and the regulator, our regulator, has put in place a tariff mechanism, what they call the e-cooking tariff. So as a consumer, your first 15 units are charged at 250 shillings. The next units, up to unit 80, they are charged at 805 shillings. Thereafter, from 80 to 150, the unit rate drops to 412 shillings per unit. That's one, to encourage cooking. Some public facilities like Mulago, some of the prison places have already moved on and adopted the tariff of cooking, e-cooking at 412. Also as Umeme, we are very, very eager and concerned. So we are running a project where we are within staff, by the end of this year, we'll be distributing what we are promoting, what we call electronic pressure cookers for food preparation. We believe that once we complete the pilot, plans to scale through the Ministry of Energy are in place to drive people to use electricity for cooking through pressure cookers. We also understand the Ministry of Energy has other programs which include the use of LPGs. You may be aware they have distributed more than 1 million cylinders to encourage people to move away from charcoal towards use of gas. We believe all these concerted efforts of e-cooking, of using LPG gas will help further. Cost drivers for tariffs are two. The cost to invest and the cost to operate. But more importantly, the more the volume you grow in terms of power sales, the more likely the cost will come down. If you run our tariff model for the last 7 years, actually the costs have not been growing, they have remained flat, and if not, reducing. What this will do, this project will provide more reliable power and capacity to industries along this corridor, which will create more jobs, more economic development, more taxes to the country, and more attraction of more investments into this region which we are covering at the moment. So yes, our investments are aimed at efficiency, reliability, expansion, more grid connections, including technical loss reduction.